Good afternoon, June 2nd, just north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are going to go into the new swarm catch, probably put them into a new hive body. We're going to go into all the colonies that are currently in honey production and 9 frame space the lower box, give them another box if needed. And that's the plan for today, so if anything else arises, we'll address it when it happens. And let's get this started. All right, so here we go. So I can tell already they're going to need some resources. It's a honey frame from a dead out. Another real good honey frame from a dead out. Putting them on the outside edges, that's where they're going to want it. Nothing. 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 Nothing again. Nothing again. This is a small swarm. Medium size, I'd say. So they're working it, but I got a better option. At this point, they're keeping their hard work. They actually are on the left side of this box. I'm going to move them to the middle. Put donated frames, especially the honey on the outside. I'm not looking for the queen. First of all, I haven't even smoked them. This is light on nectar. That was my bait comb. I've seen swarms come with a lot more nectar than that, which makes me concerned about my other colonies and honey production this year. We gotta get some rain. Okay, that's better. This was actually an undrawn plastic foundation. Had some work, but not much. There's a fair amount of nectar in this one. These two look pretty good. This one's got a little too much right here. You know what? I'm gonna leave it on the bottom. 2 more frames. If they're full of honey, I'm going to leave them to the outside edges. The majority of them's full of honey. Anything that can be used for brood quickly, is going to go towards the middle. Push them together. I don't look for the queen. In and out. They're oriented to this spot. So that's where they're going to stay. When the foragers come home, they'll come to this location. There'll be some confusion, a little bit, but only because of the box color. And I just want to close this up as soon as possible. They still might have that swarm mentality, which tends to make them easier to work. I didn't smoke them. No changes to their entrance. Don't want to make it too confusing. They need some feed. Normally I use a empty medium. This is a dead out. One-to-one with Hive Alive feed supplement, mixed in the spring, late winter, early spring, refrigerated. I do sell it in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I also have free samples. Get a hold of me. I always like to dribble a little through the entrance to the feeder. Not enough to drown brood and make a mess, but enough to let them know it's up here. That's it for them for a while. Just keep checking them and give them another deep. One of the things I can do if I find one of these other colonies that's booming, this is a good option to donate a brood frame to now. So now I have another viable option to donate a brood frame to to knock down other counties so they don't swarm. Boost this one. If I do that, this one will be in honey production in no time. All right, so 9 frame spacing, adding honey supers if needed, hopefully needed. That was to be expected. They don't need anything. Let them keep going. I know for a fact this bottom one needs to be spaced. You can see that entrance, boy. This thing. Is rocking. I'm gonna start needing my step stool. Holy cow. Holy cow. This was a blank foundation and it's heavy. Man, oh man. That one's heavier, the other blank one. Crazy. All right. I'm late. As I've said before, I don't like smoking in my honey supers. It's 9 frame spacer. Needs a little help. It doesn't push frames all that well. I will say that I'm happy with the metal one versus the plastic though. So hopefully you can see it, 9 frames, 10 frame box. The reason why I do this is it draws the comb out further. I believe it gives me more honey, and it certainly makes extraction easier. Takes a little bit of effort. I think I'll show you on the next one. I like to close them up. Haven't used smoke on any of them yet today. So that's good. We haven't gotten any rain. I'm very concerned about what's in the environment. And since they're not destroying me right now, it tells me that there's enough out there. Oh my goodness. Okay, they need a third. That is crazy. Should have done this before. Close enough. So the reason why I start out with 10 is every box gets me another frame drawn. And the more comb I have drawn going into honey production, instead of having to draw a comb, they can immediately start filling it. This is an insanely productive colony. And when I do eventually probably start doing splits instead of always focusing on honey. This is definitely one to keep an eye on. I can't believe they already need a honey super. I'm not going to show you on all of them. 9 frame. You've seen in the other videos, I keep my supers in 3 different categories. From drawn, with just 2 blanks in the middle, and then just partially worked and stuff like that. So I do offset my supers. I'm not going to do it today. Give them a space towards the top for an upper entrance. It also helps with drying of the honey. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but they're already capping some of that, even in the top box. Slight problem. Glad I caught it. She laid up in those boxes in the center frame, so now I gotta fix my problem. Man, is it hot. So anyways, while sorting those frames that I took out, I found that the queen, not surprising, in that colony likes to lay eggs everywhere apparently. This is more like what I want to see. When I do the 9 frame spacing. And to determine whether they need another one just based on weight. Marginal. They're getting one. Because as I've said before, you never know when you're going to be up or be able to get to your bees. I mean, it's 80%. Again, on the 9-frame spacer, they sell plastic ones. I have not used it, but this takes a lot of force sometimes to move these, so I'm not interested. I only have one more of the drawn out comb supers. So I'm going to evaluate these last two to see who's a better candidate. And by better, I mean the one that's working the fastest. And it's this one. She's been up in this one. Hopefully not on this frame. I don't use queen excluders. And that's what you get sometimes. But as long as they're not honey bound in the bottom and they're filling quick when that brood emerges, you won't get very many cycles up there. She just saw the opportunity with that bare drawn comb, right? That's okay. More bees this time of year isn't gonna hurt. Just got to be careful when you're taking them for extraction. If there is one cell of brood on a super frame, I won't extract it. You know how much bee juice is in one cell? That's gross. I wouldn't eat it and I wouldn't give it to my customers. Don't try in 9-frame space, 10 frames. So even out your frames. Again, even in the grade A, this is what they look like. And you can see that she's already laying them up. Or the girls, some of the girls, the queens are already laying them up. So I guess the lack of rain is twofold. You know, we're not getting rain, which we need to grow things, but they also haven't missed a day of foraging in weeks. Not even because of wind. They're out every day. And because of the no rain, these honey supers are filling up. Very, very fast. This one's kind of a bummer. So, that I didn't get what I wanted out of it. I'm calling audible. Give them a frame. From another colony that was drawn and has nectar in it. Just so I don't have to store frames with nectar in them. This one is pushing it as far as 9 frame spacing. And another super. Just taking a look. Okay, they're working this side more. There's tons of bees in here. I have to go back to the video. This is the one in the last video when I was up here at night that I told you was concerning. Some of these are completely bare. Like I said before, I have better frames from other colonies. Also, if I screwed up, right, and took a frame that a queen is already laid on, they will take care of it and hatch it and give this colony more bees. Putting the ones that are already worked to the outside edges. This is 10 frames. Below it was 9 framed. It was very hot, but I'm glad I got this done. So now all that's left is to clean up. door is crazy. This looks good. One during the day looks better than it did at night. And there is a lot of bees in there. Just saw pollen going in. That's good. 0, that's our catch. First catch of the year. No reason why they shouldn't go into honey production. I'm gonna grab that.
So I'm gonna voice this over. This was really weird. I believe this is a queen larvae, a queen cell that they tore down and we're chucking her out the front door. There's a lot of drones that are dead on the ground that look like they've been pulled from cells. They're light in color also. I believe what I did as far as the swarm management and adding space, and so much space that eventually they decided to tear down their own queen cells and stop trying to swarm.
I'm not sure what that is. But anyways, there's a good amount of dead bees out in front here. Which is interesting. And a lot of them look like they've been pulled out of the cells. So I'm not sure what that means. But I'm gonna just leave it be. See what happens. They were filling the honey super and they're not aggressive. Maybe it's just good hygiene. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. Thanks. If you like more content, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification, and then also stay tuned for some giveaways. So thank you.